So this is one that I have not heard of before. It's called Starfield. So it's an official release date trailer. Let's check it out.
Constellation Starship Frontier. We have you on scanners. Performing remote systems check. Helium-3 tanks checked. Seals are intact. We are still go.
They say, the wonder is, not that the field of stars is so vast, but that we have measured it. You're part of Constellation now. Part of our family. What you've found, it's the key to unlocking everything.
We reach your constellation.
This is all we've been working towards.
Jemison route looks good.
We've come to the beginning of humanity's final journey.
Prepare for departure. Graviton loop array full check. Your space lane is clear.
That's why we're here.
Main engines go. Ignition.
To discover what's out there.
Good luck, Constellation. You are go for launch.
So Constellation Starfield. Okay. This is interesting. I really dug the cutscene. It looks fantastic. This is what I would call hard surface porn. The hard surface materials, the hard surface work in here, I mean, it's really beautiful, really intricate work. So kudos to the guys who were on this project. This stuff looks really good. They went a little heavy-handed on the roughness of this guy, or the I don't know if this is the roughness map or this is like the scratch but this feels very heavy-handed. But hey, that's your choice. You can do whatever you want. But this, oh my goodness, this is hard surface porn right here. This is the good stuff, right? This is what
They say,
if you're in the industry, you see this kind of stuff, you're like, whoa, this guy knows exactly what he's doing. And a lot of this stuff nowadays is going through a program, going through more AutoCAD kind of based program, like a Fusion 360 or something like that, or there's a few others that do. Is it Noi? Something like that. But they do NURBS modeling, and this kind of stuff is really popular right now, right? If you go on any polycount art station, like this kind of stuff is what everybody's clicking and liking on right now. This kind of stuff is really this is the bread and butter of what people are kind of calling sci-fi right now. So yeah, this stuff looks good. Like right here, man, this is a beautiful shot. This could have taken one person like 6 months to do, right? Just like all the intricacies in this. And it's funny because a lot of these guys do all this intricate work, and like in this shot, right, it's blurred. Like it's blurred all the way. You didn't model that thing for like 3 years only for them to blur it. But this is when it starts to come into light, like this. And with hard surface models, I think you have to find a good balance, right? With your materials, your textures, your emissives and things like that. You have to find a really good balance. It's very delicate, right? So the reason I say that is if you look like right at this shot, And this is one of those things that if nobody points it out, you're not going to notice it. You're just going to be like, oh, it looks good. It looks, But let's look at the texture work from the chair to her suit, or to his or her suit. I don't know if it's a male or female in the suit, but to whoever the suit is, it just feels very, very different. It just feels a little too different in the sense that this feels like too smooth and like plasticky versus this, which feels more real. And if you look at the helmet, right, the helmet looks worn, used, nice, and but this seat, that this same person who has been going out on journeys and apparently done so much but hasn't done anything to the seat, doesn't grab this, like whenever you're texturing things, you're thinking about the life that object lives. Like that's your job. Your job is to think about how it has lived in the world, how it's existed. You're telling me that this seat it's on the dirtiest planet. Like it's all, not dirtiest isn't like mud or anything, but like outside there's clearly dust, there's clearly things that are affecting her suit or his suit enough to damage it and ding it and do all this stuff to it, but all your machinery's in like pristine condition. Things like that break immersion, especially since you've told me that the ship itself is kind of beat up and dinged, right? So little things like that, and the only reason you're going to notice things like that is because it's a bunch of different artists. And I'm not saying this to like shit on the art team or something. No. I'm saying it doesn't look cohesive because, well, you've got a bunch of people doing it. They're using a bunch of different settings. They're using a bunch of different parameters, right? Somebody might have their mask or their noise on 0.2. Somebody might have it on 0.4, but the art director needs to go back and say, all right, let me look at this level. Let me look at the wear and tear. Let me look and see if it makes sense to what the entire story is going to be. And that's something that we aren't doing yet. And we don't have people in the pipeline that really do that too well. In the sense that by this point, it feels like they just trying to get that thing out the door. They just, hey, I don't put it all in. You ain't put it in. Let's get it out the door. And I'm not saying that's what's happening here. Right? Like, don't misconstrue my words. I'm going to say it now. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm just saying that can happen in certain industries, can happen in certain studios, and that, that can cause these discrepancies that I'm talking about, right? Where we have this crazy, like this thing has seen hell and back, right? But on the other side, like everything's like pristine. Okay. Right? And I can tell multiple people made multiple things, right? Just because of texture density, texel density, I guess is what I mean nowadays, is texel density. You're talking about each pixel of, texture and how its resolution is. So things like that, they're important. Come on. Okay. But it looks good. Like, all in all, right? This is hard. Like, what I would love to see is the models that they used for these guys. I want to see the wire work because it has to be beautiful, immaculate. These modelers, I'm telling you, these guys, they doing something special nowadays. Right? Look at this guy. Just this piece alone, right? This could have been a level back in the day. Like, this little piece alone could have been its own level. Like, the amount of detail in just this little piece. And that's what we're getting to. We're getting into these places where we can just put crazy amounts of detail into our mesh. And it's getting a lot better. The next step for us is it's starting to get uncanny with our material work. And that's, I think, the next big jump for video games is materials texturing. We're starting to make a little headway with Quixel and Mega Scans and Substance Painter, the Substance Suites, Mari, things like that. We're starting to make headway, but we're not there yet. And things like this show me we've got quite a bit of ways to go. right? And that's and what I'm saying is that it's not the artist's fault, right? Like, yo, it's 100 of us working on this, right? You know, it's not everything ain't gonna look 100% the same, right? No matter how hard we try. So, you know, it looks really good, right? Like, this thing look like you've been fighting 30 wars, and it just doesn't compute right now. So, yeah. And you know, the thing is, and you have to give these guys credit, because modeling hard surfaces is some of the hardest, most intricate work, because of all the little pieces, all of the little details, all of the little things that you have to do. Like, there's rivets, bolts. Is it functional? How does it function? Do you animate it functioning? Does it light up? What does it do? So, like, there's a lot of brain work that goes into making that stuff look beautiful, look cohesive, and I give those guys all the credit in the world. So yeah, that's the, look forward to seeing this guy come out. Can't wait. Let me know what you guys think, if you guys are going to check this out. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Star Citizen. I don't know, it feels like Star Citizen just changed its name and it's now Starfield. So yeah, let me know what you guys think.